Hey guys, what's going on? It's Aditi here, your intuitive marketing strategist and leadership coach. You're watching Aditi TV, where we believe you should go bold or go home, whether that's in your life or in your business. Because I personally believe that fortune favors the bold. So the more bold you are, the more fortune is going to be on your side. All right. So I just hit 6 figures in my business, you guys. Hey, celebrate with me. Give me some hand clap emojis, because if you've been around for a while, you know that this is a really, 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 really big deal. I originally, and I'm going to be talking about basically today, the 3 things that I learned, right, from this whole journey from starting at $0 to having made $100,000 in my business as of this Monday. And I'm going to also share something surprising that happened that I didn't expect. So the first thing that happened, so one thing I want to do real quick, if you're here with me live, let me know that you're here so I can say hello. And if you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I know you guys came and hung out. And I'm going to open this up here.
Share something surprising that happened that I didn't expect.
I'm trying to turn the volume down. So I like to have it open on my phone so I can see any other comments that come in, and sometimes I miss on the app here. So I have that open as well. Okay, so let's get into the 3 things that I learned. All right, so the 3 things that I learned. The first thing that I learned is that it's much harder than it looks. It's much, 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 much harder than it looks on the outside. So, you know, when you're first excited about building a business online and doing all this stuff, you're like, okay, cool. You know, I can take my expertise and I can, package it up and I can sell it. I can sell it online. I can sell courses. I can sell things, and there's so many hoops that you need to even get through to get to that first sale, right? And the idea of it sounds great. The perks of it sounds great. But when you're actually in the trenches and you're doing the work, it ended up being a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Now, if I knew how hard it was going to be before I had started, I don't know that I would have went on this journey. Sometimes I feel like I don't think I would have gone on it. At least in the beginning of it, right? Now, looking back, would I go into this? 100% I would go into this. But if I were to look back a few years, and I just knew the hell and high water that I had to go through to get to this point, it was really tough, you guys. I first went into my business with absolutely no savings. I really, really took a big leap of faith, and I only had $1,500 to my name. Like, that's all the money I had. And, I wasn't near family, so I was like out in Chicago by myself, and I really didn't have any guarantees if this was going to work or not. And I had a lease. You guys, I had a lease. Okay. So I had to pay rent the next month. And that $1,500 really covered my first month's rent of January 2016. And I honestly didn't know what I was going to do the next month. Like, literally, I had 4 weeks to figure out how I was going to get $1,350 for my rent that following month. And I was absolutely terrified. I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? Did I just make a really big mistake? Maybe I should just go get a job, But the thing was, getting a job was the safe route for me, right? It was comfortable. I had done that before. I was in, a top 4 consulting firm for 6 years, so I had really been in that game already. But now, I had this opportunity to go in full time, and I thought, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose, right? Why don't I just jump in and give it a shot and see what happens? And that's kind of exactly what I did. And I just realized there's all these lines on me. I wonder if I can take this off. Hold on one sec. Does that go away? Okay, cool. I was like, okay, there's a bunch of lines on me right now. So I really didn't know what I was going to do. But at that point, it was really my opportunity to give it my all. And I did. I gave it my all. And I made $7,000 that second month. And that second month is what really gave me the faith and trust that, okay, maybe there's something here that's going to work, and there's something here that I can do, you know? And after that, like three months into my business or 4 months into my business, I'll be honest, you guys, I completely burnt out because I was working my tail off and I had no sort of balance. I wasn't really taking proper breaks. I was literally killing myself because I was just like trying to get to the result. I was trying to get to the goal. I was trying to like, make the money that I needed to make and do whatever I needed to do. And I wasn't really focused on taking care of myself or really thinking long-term vision, So right after that, I really didn't have a plan or what I was doing. And that's kind of where the roller coaster started going down, down, down. And I just was completely lost and confused, and I was super broke, and I found myself having to borrow money. And it was a really hard, scary, depressing time. And there were lots of other things going on in my personal life too. And I was actually super, super depressed on top of it. And so that really wasn't the best formula for my first year in business, But, I stuck through it. And by the end of that year, I actually got invited by a Forbes community to where I would get an opportunity to write for Forbes.com. So I was just like absolutely floored. And even though that first year was so hard, the fact that I made it to the end of that first year and I made it to Forbes, I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm so done. I was like, that is the biggest sign ever from God that I'm on the right track and that I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. Because writing for Forbes was actually on like my 5-year plan, like my 5-year goals plan, but it was like far away. I was like, that's like one day when I'm super professional and super well known and super out there, then I'll be able to write for Forbes, But no, they contacted me at the end of my first year, and I ended up getting published on Forbes.com in my second year. So here I'm having this goal for my 5th year in business, right? And it happens in year 2. So that was really my sign to be like, okay, I think God has something planned for me, and I think I should not give up. Even though this is hard, I think I should not give up, because I believe that second month in my business where I made that 7K really gave me faith that it can happen again. Maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe I need to make some changes, etc., etc. So, it was really hard. Like I was like so tight with money the entire time, and I just barely made enough to make the bills. And there were many times I couldn't make the bills, and I was really negative in my account. And it was really hard. I didn't really go out too much and do things a little bit or wherever I was guided to go. But I felt like just always so strapped for money. I couldn't buy any clothes. I couldn't really go anywhere unless I was guided to go there, for my business, and by the divine. But essentially it was just a very, very tight time this entire, period. And it was just much harder than I thought it was going to be. So one of the first thing that I learned is that it's much harder than it looks. So that's a little overview of kind of what was going on. And so the second thing I learned is that I realized that a lot of us and pretty much everyone I meet, we have a pretty screwed up relationship with money. We have a pretty screwed up relationship with money and with ourselves, because I realized how important our relationship with ourselves really mirrors in our business. So however you feel about yourself is how you're going to show up, right? And how you're going to act in your business. And that could mean that you're undercharging because you don't believe you're worth more. That could mean that you didn't set boundaries with clients and now your clients are walking all over you, right? So it's like that relationship with yourself and your business is kind of how things end up turning out. So all of that stuff starts happening, right? You start seeing your relationship with yourself. You start seeing your relationship with money. And you're just like, what the F? Steph, like, what is this? You know, I didn't know that I had all this stuff that I need to work through. So all of your stuff really comes up to surface that maybe you can kind of get by when you're an employee at a company. But you can't really get by when you're running your own business and you're the CEO of your own company. You got to deal with your shit, you know? Otherwise, you're not going to be running a business that you're really happy with, because you will have clients walking all over you. You will have, things that get screwed up, or maybe because you didn't believe in yourself, you know, like I said, you may be undercharged and now you're super resentful and you're not able to complete the work. I mean, there's just so much that can happen that really shows up in your business. Like, literally, your relationship with yourself shows up in your business. And that was hard. That was something that I learned. And it really helped me also see where I am and see where I can shift and what I can shift with myself. And then that eventually ended up showing up in my business. So that was kind of cool. So having that come up showed me like what I needed to work on. It also showed me what my clients needed to work on, because when I worked through it, then I realized this is something that that will help my clients as well in their businesses and in their marketing. And the third thing I learned is that building a business is really the deepest spiritual work that you'll ever do in your life. And, you know, I've heard this in general before from Marie Forleo, and I heard this from my master coach, Brooke Castillo. And I think that it didn't really register when I had heard it before. It made sense because I realized, you know, there is a lot of stuff that comes up and a lot of stuff that you need to work through. But I don't think I realized at the level that it happens, you know? So that was really difficult because I don't know, just a lot of personal stuff came up that I didn't expect. And that was a direct correlation to how I'm doing in my business. So like, as I worked through these personal things, it actually shifted something in my business. So as I worked through maybe a past wound from my childhood or from a past relationship, it actually ended up resulting in a new client because I cleared that block and I worked through that thing that was blocking me, then the energy opened up and the space opened up for a new business, new client. And that was something that I didn't expect, or I knew when I had first started. So those are kind of in general, like 3 things that I learned over time. There's a lot more, you know, and I want to talk about it more. I want to talk about this journey more because I believe that, you know, now that I've achieved it and with the story that I've had, I believe in myself more. I believe in more of the fact that I have a real business. Like now that I've hit 100K, like, so, and I will clarify that the 100K that I've hit has been over 31 months. Okay. So it wasn't in 12 months, and that would be my next goal, or to even make more than that in 1 year. But and so the 100K was over 31 months. So if you were to divide that, just to give you an example, let's see, divided by 31 months. So it's about like $3,000 a month or so. Okay. So essentially it was kind of a very bare minimum, like for, you know, rent and for food, etc. But I will say it was not every month like that. I mean, there were months where I made $100 and I was completely screwed. I had no money, you know. But then there was a month last year where I made $20,000 in sales in 1 month. So it was just like, what is going on, you know? So you do have kind of these lots of ups and downs, and some months you make a lot of money, and then some months you make no money, right? Until you really build that consistent revenue. And that has been my goal this year, to really start building in consistent revenue to come in. So I'm not like completely at like $100 1 month and then like 20K another month. So that part has been hard too, because, you know, when you have your corporate job, you're used to every 2 weeks something coming in. So you can like expect that, you know, but I couldn't expect anything because I didn't know where the money was going to come from in the next couple of weeks. I wouldn't know sometimes where money was going to come from next week. So there were just so many moving parts to it. And so I said that I would also share the surprising thing that came out of it. So the surprising thing that came out of it was that I found out that I believe in my clients more because I've achieved this. So I knew that I would believe in myself more, and that happened absolutely. But I was surprised to feel that I actually believe in my clients more. And the reason for that is I realized is because I was like, okay, if I can do this, and I struggled so much and I had so many ups and downs and so many moments, right? So many breakdowns, so many meltdowns, like just everything, the whole spiel. Then, and I could get to this, right? I could get to this result. That makes me believe that my clients can also do it, that my clients can also reach these results that I've gotten. Yes, they have to be willing to do the work. They have to be willing to have the meltdowns and the ups and downs and all of that kind of stuff, but it is possible, and that is powerful. So that was the one surprising thing that came out of it, because I knew that I would believe in myself more, but I didn't think that that would mean that I now believe in my clients more. So I feel like I'm more excited for my clients. I'm showing up more for my clients, and I'm really helping them dream bigger, think bigger, and really, really be able to step into what they are meant to be doing while they're here on earth. So super fun stuff, and I'm super excited about it. And if you guys have questions about my journey from 0 to 100K, put them below, because I definitely will do some sort of webinar or some sort of class where I will talk about kind of my journey and some tips to help you too in terms of what I learned over time. All right, so let me know what questions you have. If you're catching the replay, type replay below. If you know somebody would benefit from this, feel free to tag them or share this video. And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to know every time I upload a new one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.